3 years ago, my life seemed perfect. Emily, my wife, was stunning, confident, and vibrant. People noticed her. I adored her. Sure, she had her moments, sometimes sharp or difficult, but I loved her anyway. We had our own language, inside jokes. Life was good. Emily was the anchor in my sea of existence. I believed our bond was unbreakable. But behind closed doors, trouble was brewing. Late nights, secretive phone calls, a phone she clutched like a shield. When I questioned her, she'd brush it off, saying I was being paranoid or insecure. But my gut screamed otherwise. It was a discordant tune that resonated within me. One night, I awoke to find Emily fast asleep beside me, but her phone glowed faintly under the bedroom door. Curiosity gnawed at me. I waited for her to drift into dreamland, then crept to the door and peered under it. The glow was coming from a message app. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone, the tenor of the conversation sent shivers down my spine. It wasn't casual banter. It was flirty, secretive, like whispers in the dark. A shiver ran down my spine. My hands trembled. It wasn't just fear, it was betrayal. I was witnessing the erosion of my marriage without realizing it. And that realization was like shards of glass piercing my heart. My wife was cheating on me. Those messages were just the beginning. They were the cracks in the dam that let the doubt flow in. Each late night, each evasive answer chipped away at my certainty. The messages weren't explicit, but the implications were clear. This wasn't about missing work hours or late-night emergencies. This was about deception. Then came the Thursday that changed everything. I decided to surprise Emily with a day off. I worked late, so I figured I'd pick her up from her office and treat her to a nice dinner. But when I called her office, her coworker informed me that Emily wouldn't be in that day. Surprised, I called her cell phone, but it went straight to voicemail. I should have known something was off. My gut, that insistent voice, it was screaming at me. I drove to her office, but her car wasn't there. Then I saw her. Not at her desk, but in a corner with a man leaning close to her. They were talking and laughing. But it wasn't just any man. It was James, my best friend, the brother I never had. Time seemed to slow down. My heart pounded like a drum solo. Their laughter echoed in my ears, mocking me. My world, my entire reality crumbled before my eyes. I couldn't breathe. My chest constricted, making it hard to catch my breath. It felt like an invisible hand had squeezed the air out of my lungs. Tears welled up in my eyes, blurring the scene. But I forced myself to focus. There was no denying what I saw. And then I saw the message on James's phone, the same phone he was holding close. It was a message from Emily, a message I knew because I'd received it too. And the contents of that message, the words that once seemed like a joke, now rang with a chilling familiarity. It was the exact same message that James was reading. In that moment, the jig was up. The charade ended. All the subtle signs, the cryptic messages, they all made sense now. I was a fool, blinded by loyalty and love. My legs felt weak. My knees threatened to buckle, but I held myself up. There was more to see, more to understand. What was happening? Why? How long had this been going on? I needed answers, but I couldn't bring myself to ask. I didn't want to hear the truth. I didn't want to confirm what I already knew. So I stayed there, lurking in the shadows, watching them interact, trying to piece together the fragments of my shattered reality. But then James glanced up. Our eyes met. His face drained of color, his eyes widened in panic. He tried to hide the phone, but it was too late. I'd seen enough. I knew the truth. I felt the raw, stinging pain of betrayal, the kind that tears at your soul and leaves you questioning everything. That night, I confronted them. It wasn't a confrontation, more like a funeral for my marriage, for my trust, for my friendship with James. Emily sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone, seemingly oblivious to the storm raging within me. I approached her, my voice shaking, trying to mask the turmoil inside. "Emily, we need to talk." She looked up, her expression irritated. "I'm tired, Mike. Can this wait?" Her words were like salt in the wound. "This can't wait. I know about you and James. You've been sleeping with my best friend behind my back. How could you?" My voice cracked. The weight of the betrayal pressed down on me, suffocating me with its gravity. "You're crazy," she replied, her tone dismissive. "James is just a friend. You're paranoid." She dismissed my concerns, labeling me as the crazy one, the one who couldn't trust his own wife, the one who was imagining things. I didn't confront James right away. I needed proof. I needed to build my case, to gather evidence to solidify my suspicions. So I began tracking them, monitoring their movements, piecing together the fragments of their deceit. I collected screenshots of their messages, photos, anything that documented their affair. It was like assembling a puzzle, but instead of forming a picture, I was constructing a case against my wife, a case against my best friend. Then came the final move. I left a note for Emily, a note that was a mixture of accusation and warning. "I know about you and James. I have everything." It wasn't a threat, but it was a statement of fact. I was done playing games. I wanted her to know I was aware of their deception. Her response was explosive, filled with anger, denial, and a hint of fear. "You're crazy. Just leave. I don't want to see you again." I did leave, but it wasn't because I feared her wrath. It was because I was hurt, deeply, profoundly hurt. But amidst the pain, there was a strange sense of relief. I was no longer in the dark. I was facing my reality head-on. As time passed, I started confronting friends and family members, dropping hints that suggested I knew their secrets. I wanted them to feel the same way I did. Wanted them to experience a fraction of the pain they caused me. I didn't want them to walk away feeling like they got off scot-free. They needed to know that their actions had consequences. Looking back, I can say that while their betrayal was devastating, it also served as an eye-opener. It revealed the true colors of those I thought I knew. It showed me the darkness that can lurk beneath a seemingly perfect life. I learned that appearances can be deceiving, and that trust, once broken, is almost impossible to repair. It taught me to be wary of those who seem closest, to be cautious of smiles that may conceal secrets. It made me stronger, more resilient. It forced me to confront my reality and to rebuild my life on a foundation of truth. While the pain of their betrayal will always linger, it also became the catalyst for my growth, my resilience, and my strength. Today, I stand before you sharing my story because I want others who have experienced similar pain to know that they are not alone. Betrayal is a universal experience. It transcends time, culture, and circumstance. I want to be that guiding light for someone who's lost in the darkness of deception, who's struggling to find their way out. If my story can offer solace, if it can let someone know that they're not alone, then it's worth telling. Betrayal can shatter you, but it can also make you stronger. It can leave scars, but those scars can tell a story of survival, of resilience. So to everyone who's been betrayed, know that you're not alone. Your feelings are valid, your pain is real, and you have the strength to rise above it. You have the power to heal and to grow.